Tonight's presentation of NCAA
The Warrior volleyball team returns home to the friendly and familiar confines of the Stan Sheriff Center. Leading the way for team ranked Hawai'i, senior Stephen Hunt and freshman J.P. Marks. Hawaii takes a weekend respite from conference play to host a two-match series against the Lopes of Grand Canyon. Welcome inside the Stanley, your Hawaiian Tell. Federal Credit Union starting lineups there atop your screen as we are set to go. Getting ready to rock on an Aloha Friday night. Glad you can join us wherever you happen to be watching by. On this beautiful night, great week, Pro Bowl weekend, and an exciting sports week in general. And we are set to go with the Antelopes in all black in the first set of the night, and it's going to J.P. Marks.
You see the first kill by Marks. A little roll shot to start things off. Not the best set location that time by Bascaro. Set the ball kind of off the net. Also interesting to see how Hawaii will continue to stay in system with their offense. Something that we can look at throughout the match. Again, one of the big changes we talked about in there at opposite number 16, Harrison Carroll, a junior out of Orange, California. And a block. And Stephen Hunt coming up big at the net. And that's one of the players for Canada.
J.P. Marks back to serve for Hawaii, 2-0, just underway here if you happen to be joining us. Good serve just out, however. First service error of the night and the first point of the night for the Lopes, as they choose to be called in the short version, Antelopes. And what an interesting school, what an interesting campus. Ryan, only in their 4th season of this program.
And their coach in his 2nd year, already making huge strides.
Good swing by Lofi, overpass. Hunt takes advantage and put right back at him by Keith Smith, but they're going to call a double hit on Smith. And what a great job he actually did by kind of fielding that overpass slam down by Hunt.
And that's something that Hawaii has had troubles with, the overpass. Traditionally a very easy hit to have that time. Hunt getting blocked.
Christopher Lockwood serving to Hunt. The easy touch put back over the net. Hawaii going to set it up again. Carroll, his first swing off the block. Into the near side, powering it through is Ben Ponnett, and he is pretty much the leader of this team offensively. A record 321 kills, and well, they're going to set a lot of records because, as we said, the program in its infancy, only its 4th year and a 2nd year head coach. In fact, they have one player, Taylor Griffin, as Hawaii gets the point. They have one player who has been with the program all 4 years. That's Taylor Griffin. No coach has been with the program all 4 years. Jared Lofi back to serve, even at 3-all. And another big swing on the powerful arm of Ponnett.
Ponnett, the sophomore from Belgium, as you mentioned, leads the teams in kills. That time, Nick West unable to get all the way to the outside to close the block, just threw his hands up and actually got used that time.
One thing in starting Harrison Carroll at opposite, you give up 5 inches. And Hawaii with the point. Johan Timmer at 6'6". Carroll back to serve right here, 6'1". So you definitely give up a little bit at the net. Another good swing. This time it is Jordan Tarantino. He had a school record 25 kills in a match against NYU last year. And a young team last year, but Ryan, this year they returned 13 players with at least 1 year of experience. Hunt, the easy touch, nice job by Smith. to keep it alive, and that ball hit out, point Hawaii.
And that's that one position that head coach Jeremy Price is looking for a little bit more offense out. That's the second outside hitting position. You saw their shot of number 14 that time needs to get more offensive production from that left side.
Stephen Hunt with a high toss. Good serve and a good pass by Griffin. And then the ball slightly misplayed and unable to get to it was Castello, and that'll be a point for the Lopes. And Grand Canyon leading early, 6-5.
Very diggable ball that time, missed opportunity for Hawaii.
Ryan Mather back to serve. He's a freshman out of Redondo Beach, California, and a little bit of moisture down on the Terra Flex. Well, Hawaii, of course, coming off that showing in the Outrigger Classic that UCLA proved to be victorious, but a lot of good things coming out of that on the Hawaii part. And they're looking to snap a 4-match losing streak, and that's their longest since 2009. And Nick West gets his first set of the night and pays dividends.
And Nick West going for that back one set. It's a quick set that's set right behind the setter. Hawaii traditionally did not use much of that in last year's offense, but with the addition of West coming on the team, they've really established that back one as part of their new offense.
And there you see the numbers on the season for West, who is back to serve. Hits that one almost out of the ballpark.
Failed to get any top spin on that. That ball just sailed way out of bounds.
7-6 Antelopes in the early going. Back to serve will be Jordan Tarantino. Good pass by Castello and marks, and he is roofed at the net. And that was Christopher Lockwood.
So already we're seeing a nice job by the wing blockers. Blocking that time, JP Marks, we saw moments ago. Stephen Hunt actually having trouble. So we'll see if Hawaii makes the adjustments.
And that serve shanked to the right, point Hawaii. It'll be 7 serving 8. Back to serve will be Biscara. Kind of a nice little break for the Warriors. MPSF play, you never get a breather in conference. And not to say that this is a breather. It's nothing of that nature whatsoever, Ryan. Despite the fact they're Division II, again, the parity in men's volleyball is such that you cannot take anybody lightly.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of opportunities for players coming out of high school to play volleyball at the next level. So any team really could be a threat because of the amount of talent that's out there.
Good swing by Carroll, and Carroll earns his first kill and his first start in 2012.
Harrison Carroll, who actually had a start last year against UCLA for an injured Jonas Umlauf, getting the start for the first time this season, hitting that ball down the line. And you mentioned he's not the biggest physical present, but I think what Carroll adds is just that all-around game dynamics. He's a great ball control player and might help in that defensive department as we see JP Marks picking up an ace.
A freshman out of Germany with the first service ace of the match, and Hawaii pulls even at 9 apiece.
JP Marks, who actually leads the team in service aces, hitting this ball off a very good passer in the Libero in Bruns.
This match tied for the 7th time here early in the first set. Setting it up to the near side. Not a good effort by Punter. And an opportunity for Carroll off the block and gets the kill. So Carroll, perfect 2 for 2.
And again, Carroll, not the biggest player, but he's just a great volleyball player. Notices he has 2 blockers up, goes for the line, and able to use the block. And look at that enthusiasm. He's fired up to be out there.
Marks again to serve. Good serve and nearly another service ace. Flying out of the back row and unable to get to that ball was Jordan Tarantino. That's a point in Hawaii, and Hawaii now on a 4-point run. And for the first time, Hawaii putting a little bit of separation between themselves and the opponent, and enough so that head coach Jeremy Price is going to call for a timeout. We too take a timeout. 11-9 Hawaii here in set number 1. Back at the stand, Sheriff Center, Hawaii out to an 11-9 advantage and a chance for us to look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
We'll start off with Grand Canyon. It's making the adjustments. Whenever you're a smaller team, Grand Canyon obviously not as physical in size with Hawaii. They have to learn how to make adjustments throughout the match in terms of hitting and blocking as well as serving in order to get a good matchup. And for Hawaii, it's looking to the opposite, which, as we mentioned, is Harrison Carroll tonight, already with 2 kills, fitting in very nicely in that new opposite position for him.
And a good serve again by Marks. And an opportunity for Hawaii. Hunt goes cross court. Dug up by the Libero. And Castello keeps it alive. And this time Hunt going for the back corner, but long. Point Antelopes.
Stephen Hunt going for the high hands that time, recognizing the 3 blockers that were up for the Lopes. Unable to get a hand though.
6'5" sophomore Christopher Lockwood now to serve. And right over the middle, Lofi unable to put it down. And then powering it almost straight down off the block is Ben Ponnet. And the match now even.
So Ponnet continuing to impress, picking up his 3rd kill, and that's the size we talked about. You give that up when you put Harrison Carroll in, getting beat to the line, not able to seal all the way to the antenna.
Hunt, and this time off the block, and point for Hawaii.
That time again, timing a little bit of an issue. Stephen Hunt had to hang in the air a little early in his approach. However, he was still able to make it up by hitting in the seam.
First kill for Hunt. They've gotten him 6 times tonight. And a big block, and Nick West getting his big 6'8" frame up there and putting it back down on the opposite side of the net.
Well, West, the energetic player, the spark plug, if you will. Loving that celebration. Wahine volleyball fans might recognize him. He's the one that always dances in the stands during the matches, bringing personality to the women's games as well.
Point for the Antelopes. They are back within 1. It'll be 12, serving 13. And Keith Smith floats it over. Piscaro, not a good set to Caro, who does a great job of keeping it inside the antenna. And then unable to keep it alive is Piscaro as he comes diving in. Point Antelopes, and we're even again at 13.
Hawaii with the triple block that time. Unable to make the pancake save was Sam Piscaro.
8th tie of this first set. And Hunt got that one right in his wheelhouse.
And if Hawaii's able to pass like that just last play, they're able to run that faster attack, which Stephen Hunt likes to do, beating the blockers and just burying that ball in the seam.
And Carroll wasting no time, gets back there. Here's the whistle, and he was off and running. And a hitting error as Ryan Mather puts it into the net. And so Hawaii up 15-13. Once again, getting a little bit of separation on the Antelopes. We're going to take a break. You're watching University of Hawaii Men's Volleyball on OC Sports. Hawaii up by 2 in the first set, as Charlie Wade had an opportunity to talk to his guys. And the Aston Hotels and Resorts Series record, well, that's a pretty easy one to decipher.
Yeah, first meeting between these 2 teams. Again, a fairly new program, this Lope squad in their 4th year. Jeremy Price in his 2nd year as the coach. Excited about the future. They're actually moving into a new arena, so a lot of great things happening for this program, and another school that has an opportunity for boys coming out of high school to continue to play.
Good job by the libero for Hawaii, Nick Castello, to keep that one alive. And an opportunity now. And an opportunity cashed in once again by Ben Ponnet. And Ponnet, only a sophomore in his freshman year, 321 kills, a school high. But again, the program only in its 4th year. These Antelopes play out of the MIVA, which is the Midwestern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association. They come from Arizona, and this is what I like. I like when Arizona is referred to as the Midwest. Okay, this is what I've never understood. Chicago, Midwest. If you put a line through the middle of the United States, Chicago is well to the east. So the middle of that other half, Arizona, Colorado, see, to me, that's the Midwest. I never understood that.
Well, it's a perfect fit for them then. And, you know, the coach, Jeremy Price, talked about that and said, you know, it's a great recruiting tool because he's able to recruit from places like Chicago and places in the East Coast, as well as staying on the West Coast as well and recruiting from California because of the distance, and players enjoy going there. So a nice school to be right in the middle of the country, able to utilize talent all around the country.
Out of Phoenix, Arizona. And a chance for Hawaii. Piscaro, a little bit of hesitation. Who is going to get it? And it's going to go to Harrison Carroll, who didn't get a real good swing on that one. Overpass. And a good job at the net. West and Hunt teaming up for the block. And then it's the easy shot that finds the floor.
That not a great rally for Hawaii that time, making some very easy plays look extremely difficult. But you see, again, not the hardest ball hit, just a looper right through the block.
And again, setting it up right down the center to Nick West. And he hammers it down.
And West immediately looks at Sam Piscaro after that hit and says thank you. He wants to be involved in the offense. See right there, thanking his setter. And that's one thing about Nick West. He gets up extremely quick in transition as well as serve receive. So if Piscaro can get him the ball, West will find success.
Well, he's perfect early. He's had 2 attempts, 2 sets, 2 kills, hitting 1,000 and make it another kill as he takes care of business on the overpass.
And immediately thanks Stephen Hunt. That won't go down as an ace in the statistic book, but really Stephen Hunt's serve helped provide that point for Hawaii.
Hawaii back out in front by 2, and Hunt back to serve again. Another good serve, and this time it is a service ace. Biggest lead of this first set for Hawaii, up by 3.
It's nice to see Stephen Hunt getting a little more consistency and accuracy with this jump serve. We've seen him struggle at times throughout the season. Looking fairly good in that last 2 attempts.
And you saw his numbers there, 14 errors to 13 aces, and make it 15 service errors as that one is just out.
And our partners at the end, Tony Ching and Sean Carney, saying that ball was in. They're sitting immediately at the end zone.
Well, Charlie Wade is kind of right there along the line too, and he was probably looking over there. And it comes fast. I mean, it's not easy to be down there on the corner and point that flag either down or wave it up. But that's their job. And once again, West gets an opportunity and puts it down again. And he remains perfect on the night. 4 sets, 4 kills.
West, who had 7 kills and hit .455 against Pepperdine, hits for a fairly high percentage, just a matter of getting him the ball and keeping him involved in the offense. And again, that comes down to ball control, and if Hawaii can pass and is able to maintain an offense that will allow him to have success.
And again, we talk about that Pepperdine match. Charlie Wade very pleased with a lot of what came out of it. Yes, it may be 2 losses in the book as Piscaro goes up and puts the roof down for the point. And Hawaii now on a 6-point run, or rather a 5-1 run, excuse me.
Not the best connection that time to Lockwood, the middle blocker. But Hawaii there to stop the little tip shot.
And another very good serve by West. And the hammer by Taylor Griffin, who is that only player or coach, the only 4-year player on this Antelope team.
Well, one-on-one opportunity. You see Sam Piscaro not really able to even make it all the way out there.
Hawaii +3. Marks trying to play +4. And he gets the kill off of the chest of Ben Ponnet.
And the JP Mark signs come out in the stands. A lot of girls asking for JP Mark's hand in marriage already. But Marks, the freshman, really proving to be a valuable asset to the team as we see Averill into the match.
Piscaro with a good high toss and a good serve. Piscaro And Hunt out of the back row, and he just misses wide. Point Grand Canyon. The Lopes back within 3. It'll be 18 serving 21.
And Averill being brought in towards the end of this match for blocking purposes. Obviously a bigger physical presence at the net. Coach Charlie Wade looking for a block out of him.
And Marks off the antenna. That's going to be a violation, and that's going to be a point for Grand Canyon. And it's Hawaii 21, Antelopes 19. And Charlie Wade wants to stop any and all momentum right here. He wants to be able to finish this first set. 21-19 our score. Timeout. We'll be back with more from the Stan Sheriff Center.
The world's most irresistible burrito with crunchy flamin' hot Fritos chips, premium seasoned beef, and nacho cheese sauce is back. And one is never enough. It's Taco Bell's Beefy Crunch Burrito for just $1.69. Only at Taco Bell.
Today my journey continues across the Golden State, where everyone has been unbelievably nice. Morning. I guess I am helping them save hundreds on car insurance. It probably also doesn't hurt that I'm a world-famous advertising icon. Cheers! I mean, who wouldn't want a piece of that?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
With Time Warner Cable, technology revolves around you, so we reinvented the home phone. And now you can get it for just $29.95 a month. Call 643-2337 and enjoy advanced features like caller ID on your PC. Switch to digital home phone for just $29.95 a month. Call 643-2337. Switch now and get 2 months free.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Kaiser Permanente.
And back inside the Stan Sheriff Center on an Aloha Friday night. Hawaii up by a couple versus the Antelopes out of Grand Canyon. And powering it just off the block, J.P. Marks. And Ponnet went up there and gave it a shot, but unable to stop the powerful swing of Marks. And J.P. now with 3 kills. Hawaii hitting 280 to 136 for the Antelopes. 22-19, Hawaii up. Nice job by Taylor Averill to get it over the net. And then the easy touch, following in front of Nick Castello, Point Grand Canyon, and they just refuse to go away.
And that's the type of plays that will drive Coach Charlie Wade crazy. See this roll shot, an easy play, and Sam Bascaro kind of looking around. He immediately told Bascaro, you gotta go for that ball.
Back to serve is Ryan Olsen. First time we've seen him in the match, and he promptly serves it into the net. Point Hawaii 2 points away from closing out this first set.
Tough to come off the bench and have to serve, and we'll see if Hawaii finds success with that as Sedore comes in. Great server. We'll see if he's able to keep this ball in play coming off the bench.
Brook Sedore saw some considerable action and playing time back in that Outrigger Invitational a couple of weeks ago here.
Just a real heavy arm. It's all about timing. If he can get a good toss, his arm and strength really puts a lot of pressure on the passers.
Another Canadian on this team, along with Stephen Hunt. And there's the serve, but long.
So we saw 2 service specialists coming in having difficulties.
So Sedore out, Lofi back in. And Castello as well, the libero for Hawaii. And back to serve is Keith Smith. And Hunt didn't get all of it. And up against the triple block goes Jordan Tarantino. Puts it off the block for the kill. And now all of a sudden the Antelopes are within one. 22 serving 23. And again, Charlie Wade is going to call a timeout.
That hit that time by Tarantino. Smart hit. He was going up against 3 blockers and used the block. Not the best numbers right now from Tarantino. 3 kills, 2 areas, hitting 143. But you got to give credit to this Grand Canyon team for really sticking with Hawaii. You know, again, not looking like a Division II team. They're staying competitive and really putting Hawaii to the test right now.
Well, what do you say we go inside the numbers, courtesy of HMSA? I promise it's coming, and as you look inside the numbers, Hawaii's all-time record against teams out of the Midwestern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association. Pretty positive and one-sided.
Got 34-8, but again, this Grand Canyon team, only volleyball is a member of the MIVA. All the rest of the sports are actually members of the Pac West Conference, a conference that's very familiar to a lot of Hawaii fans, as schools like Chaminade, BYU Hawaii, UH Hilo. So this team, maybe not familiar with coming to Hawaii, but definitely the school and the institution, very familiar with Hawaii and the schools here.
And the basketball team in the house tonight, you were pointing out.
Yeah, the men's and women's basketball teams here in attendance here to show their support. They'll actually be taking on BYU Hawaii tomorrow. So who knows, maybe this may be a pipeline for Grand Canyon, the men's volleyball team, to come a little bit more, knowing that you know, they have tradition and they have the experience of coming to Hawaii. And really, that's rare in any sport for you to kind of have both basketball teams, men's and women's basketball teams, at another institution where another team is playing. So good to show that fan support.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in the WAC with basketball this year, where Louisiana Tech brought both of its teams in, but we certainly didn't have a third team here. That is a rarity.
Should have just chartered a plane and had everyone fly together.
Yeah. So trying to even up the match, the Antelopes and Hawaii looking to get to set point. And Taylor Averill hits it long. We're even at 23 all.
And Carroll coming off the bench after that hitting error. Again, Averill, you see that little bandage on his left shoulder. Actually did not practice until Wednesday because of a cyst that was removed.
And now we are even for the 10th time, and Nick West kind of floated up there, tries to put the overpass down, unsuccessful. And Hunt with the easy shot. Nice diving effort by Bruns. Back to Hunt. And he puts it down in Hawaii now. It's set point.
Clutch swing by the senior. That was a very big play for Hawaii. They needed to get that side out so they could get to match point, set point. As we see the Antelopes calling for a timeout, but Stephen Hunt that time going inside the blockers and able to put down that much needed kill.
So Jeremy Price, the second-year head coach, signaling for the timeout. Price, before coming to Grand Canyon, coached at Huniata College in Huntington, Pennsylvania. He was also back once upon a time from the years 2000 to 05, coached for the U.S. Naval Academy.
And a coach that's very involved in the U.S. national program, in that pipeline, coaching in the high performance camps. So he, you know, that's an opportunity for him to get a look at some of the up and coming talent. Very involved in USA Volleyball. And, you know, it's a great place to be where you're able to share that experience and really build that recruiting tool at the same time. It's important for Hawaii too, coming out of this timeout. Obviously, had the momentum through most of this set, but some blunders here and some missteps in the late goings. We'll see how Hawaii comes out of this timeout. And look for that guy right there, Stephen Hunt, to get a bunch of sets as it becomes closer and when the game's on the line.
And by the way, I want to say aloha to our good friend Chris McLaughlin, if he happens to be watching in on the mainland tonight, doing a little bit of traveling to California.
See a good shot there of Stephen Hunt. A lot being asked of this senior from Canada. Pretty much a 4-year start for Hawaii has really grown, not only as a player, but as a person. Really looked to be one of the leaders. We heard him share a little bit earlier in our pregame show about just the experience and the expectations upon him during his final season, and really has come into his own as a leader in his own right.
That's one of the things that Charlie Wade, you spend any amount of time with Charlie, you talk to him, and the one thing you're really going to get is making sure that these young men become just that, fine young men, in addition to good volleyball players, representatives of themselves and this community. And the ball off of the hands of Harrison Carroll, and we're tied up at 24 all. So the Antelopes are not about to run away. They're running right at Hawaii and trying to steal this first set. Back to serve is Punnett, and he serves it into the net. A big service error, and so Hawaii for the second time serving for the set.
And I know we mentioned this earlier, but I think it's important to bring back up that this is a Lopes team that beat UC San Diego in 3 straight sets, and we remember that Hawaii also did the same, but also lost to UC San Diego. So a team that, you know, needs to be considered as a formidable opponent.
Hunt, another good serve. And the swing, and unable to get to it. As Harrison Carroll took a little bit off of that, and Carroll kind of caught back on his heels, looking for something maybe a little bit harder.
And again, it's those roll shots, not something that's usually traditionally an easier ball to get to. Coach Charlie Wade always teaches players that he coaches to stay on their feet. A lot of times you see players just kind of diving on the floor in an effort to make that play, but really the key is staying on your feet, running to the ball, having more control over that.
Mather to serve it, setting it up, and Marks off the block, opportunity for the Antelopes. Back set, not a good swing that time by Tarantino. Once again to Marks, and into the net. He had a triple block and tried to go below it and never got it over the net. And now the Antelopes have an opportunity to steal this first set, 26 serving 25. Marks dug up, and then off the block and out, and the Antelopes take the first set, 27-25. The block was there, but they couldn't redirect it inside, and the Antelopes take the first set, and now Hawaii takes that long march across the side to the other bench, and they look to regroup.